Welcome back. We're on Module 1, Lesson 5, and this one is something that took a long time for me to grasp, and I really hope it helps you. This one is one of those subtle ones that really, really powerful if you really grasp this. This is your Chapter 2. And if we want to give you the long version of this title, stop comparing your Chapter 2 to someone else's Chapter 20. The bottom line is, if you showed up at the bottom of this mountain, right next to that little logo for Trade Fearless, and you started climbing the mountain right here, you wouldn't look up at the guy or gal that's halfway up the mountain and say, it's no fair that they're up there, I'm never going to get there. You'd see, hey, they're already up the mountain, I just got to catch up. It doesn't make any sense for you to start here or start up here. You know you have to put in the work to get up the mountain. But in trading, it doesn't work like that. In trading, people see these successful traders on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube, buying ads, showing off, doing whatever it is that they're doing that makes them look superior, and you start to wonder, well, I'm not having that success. I'm not achieving those types of financial results. I didn't get to take my entire family to Hawaii this weekend. Maybe I'm not that good of a trader. Maybe I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be. I guess I'm just not that good. And you start comparing yourself to someone else, and you have no idea what chapter of the book they're on. Okay? I don't care if you've done it for 5 years or 10 years. You still might be on chapter 2, 3, or 4. The next person might be on chapter 20, or they might be flexing and faking the entire thing, and you just don't realize that. The number one rule to realize here is that social media is free. Take the opinions from there accordingly. You have no idea if the other person or the other entity on the other side of that social media post is telling you the truth or not. Okay? It's free. If they're buying advertisement, then they're paying it. But if they're just posting it and they happen to be in your feed, you have no idea what's really going on. So there's some things you can do to try and figure it out. But be aware, you can rent a Lamborghini. You can rent a house, Airbnb. You can rent a boat, a yacht. You can rent almost anything out there for a day. You can sneak onto a hangar at the end of the day. If you don't have the money to fly it, it's so easy to fake. You can go onto a website right now, Google prop money, and you can buy a $10,000 stack of $100 bills for $25 that look exactly like the real thing that are movie props. And so you can see someone inside of a plane with 5 stacks of $10,000 flexing like crazy, saying trading life is legit, drinking some sort of whiskey or something in a decanter bottle, and it looks like they are living the high life, and you have no idea what reality is. For all you know, it's their buddies playing. For all you know, that's all movie prop stacks. For all you know, they rented the plane for an hour, and they took 4 pictures from 5 different angles with different shirts on, and that $300 investment in their media advertising is going to get them $10,000 worth of subs over the next year. And their entire goal here is to call trades, and they're trying to live off of you guys when it looks like they're living the high life and trying to bring you along for the ride. You don't know. So stop comparing yourself to these people online. Number one thing. There's real traders out there that are really crushing it. They're also trying to help other people out. And there's also real traders out there that are totally faking it. You just don't know who's who, okay? So the most important thing in all of it is to remember it's free. Take it accordingly. Next thing, do you have all the facts? Or are you comparing your Tuesday to their Friday night? 5 questions to ask before comparing your Chapter 2 to their Chapter 20. Do you know how much money they have to trade with? All right? If they're making a $25,000 win on a trade, how do they do that? You ever seen someone make $25,000 in a week? I have. I know how they do it. I just don't choose to do that style. To do that, you have to trade weekly options. You have to trade something that in less than 10 days, usually less than 5, will go to 0 if you're wrong. And so you can put $500, $5,000, a small amount down, and if it works, you can make 2,000%. Just this week, Disney Plus came out. They had technical glitches. It looked like a good setup, and I made a little bit on it. Now, it was a weekly option that went from $1 to $6 if you bought it 10 days out, and it went from 35 cents to $6 if you bought it 3 days out. Now, if you're the type of trader that's trying to get other people to sign up for your service, you can drop $500. And if you drop $500 on that, that'd be 500 divided by about $35. So if we do 500 divided by 40, we're looking at about 12 contracts. If we do 12 contracts to make $500 and they turned into $600 of contracts, that means you make 12 times 500 times 100, you'd make $60,000. So you could put in $500 on a $30 risk, and you could pull out 60 grand. Now, if you pull that type of money out, you can throw it on Twitter and say, look at what I can do for you, sign up. And then you can get plenty of people to sign up. And if you lose all that money next week, it doesn't matter because you still have money coming in. You got to realize most of these people doing this service so they can hook other people in. Stop comparing yourself to them. They're in a different game. They're doing this for advertising purposes. They're not doing this to crush and succeed at life. If they were, they're making $60,000 a week calling their trades. Why are they trying to have you sign up? It's illegal to do what they're doing. If you're not registered and you're calling trades for someone else, by the SEC rules, you are violating massive acts. I trade through an LLC and I am registered to do that. You can't just call trades for someone else for a fee without being registered. It's very illegal. And so what they're doing here is they're trying to run a very shady business and try and get you hooked on and hope they never get caught because it's the internet and everyone does it. But that's neither here nor there. The point is, don't compare yourself to that, okay? Understand that. Number 2, do you know if this was a live trade or a demo trade? There are some accounts out there that show demo. It starts out with a sim or demo or something like that. Other trades don't. Other accounts don't. You don't know the trader you're following on Twitter is even trading a real account. Do you know how much they've studied? Have they put in 10 years to learn what they're doing? Are they legitimate traders and they're just showing you how it's doable for you? Maybe they are. But have they done 10 years and you've got a month in, a year in, 2 years in? Why should you be as good as they are? You haven't got the experience yet. Do you know how many years they've spent on their craft? This kind of goes hand in hand, not only with books, but how many charts, trades, styles, strategies, how much have they put in their craft compared to everyone else? And finally, all three of these really go together, but importantly, books-wise, how much have they studied, how many years overall, and how many charts? I probably looked at 30,000 charts. How many charts have you looked at? How many charts has that person looked at? There's no flex here when I say this. I'm simply telling you that if you've looked at enough charts, you'll see the same patterns over and over. Maybe you just haven't seen enough charts yet to see it for yourself. But the point is, stop comparing yourself to someone else, okay? The only one, in the end, the only person you should compare yourself to is yourself. Because no one else is paying you, no one else is important in this journey but you. Okay? If you are journaling and you're doing everything you're supposed to build those bricks, then you're going to be able to look back on your screenshots, on your journals, on your videos, to yourself, everything else, 3 months down the road, 6 months down the road, and compare and see, are you improving? Is your chapter 3 better than your chapter 2 was 3 months ago? Yes, that's all that matters. Everything else is a flex to get you to sign up for someone else or to make someone else feel better about themselves. If the only reason people are showing off the results is to get you to come to them, there's something else there. And if there's nothing else there and they're just showing you their winners, maybe they're doing it to show you it's doable, or more than likely they're showing it because they need the affirmation. You know, their ego is not enough, so they need to find it online. There's a lot of reasons people show off winning trades that don't make any sense. There are a few people out there that simply want to show some trades off to show you, hey, you can make $1,000 in 3 days if you put in the work. I'll probably show a lot of these on the course. I rarely show that online because I think there's a lot more downside to it than upside. But I'll definitely show you it on the course, right? I'll show you it's doable time and time again. But I want you to understand, when you're comparing yourself to someone else, it's not helping you. It's either making you feel worse or it's feeding the wrong type of ego to make yourself feel better. Either way, stop it. Start focusing on yourself and comparing your future self to your current self to your past self, and see if you're improving. That is what matters. That is what counts. That is how you succeed and learn how to trade fearless. Let's move on to our final lesson for Module 1, backcasting.